I
All
am
right,
ready to get into it if you are, man. Take
I
us
am
through what we're
too.
doing.
So, as you said earlier, we are going through an entire franchise, movie by movie. We will be ranking them at the end of each review. Um, Obviously, as you can see, Toy Story will be our first movie, so we have decided to start with Pixar. We will be
Yes.
watching all 23?
Three, yep.
Yeah, 23 movies, going to be 24 soon,
Very soon.
with Luca coming out. Um, but we will have a full, growing, evolving list after each review. So that's going to be really exciting.
If you want to check out a live version of that list, head over to our link tree, which is currently in the comments or the chat section rather, and the letterbox link, which is the very first one. You click on that bad boy, it'll actually give you a link to our letterbox channel, Franchise Guys Letterbox, and it has a link or a list rather of all 23 movies. We've only watched the first one, so you know it's not really updated super beyond that, but we're gonna get there for sure. Yes, continue.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy ranking since it is the
Yes.
first Toy Story, the first movie in Pixar history. So that can only be number one
Also,
so far.
same here, Wilfred. I think we all cried at different Toy Story movies.
Um, all right, are you ready?
I'm so ready. I'm almost too ready, honestly.
So, Toy Story 1,
Yes. Toy
the
Story 1.
first Pixar
Love my thing.
movie ever made. What did you think?
I mean, if I look at it from like a nostalgia standpoint, of course, it's iconic and just purely nostalgic. Like, there's no other words to describe it. Um, from a filmmaking standpoint now, obviously the animation's come a long way for what we can do
Yeah,
now from
to say
then,
the
but
least.
if I was an adult then and I watched it then and I was giving a review on it, I'm sure I'd say it's the most amazing animation I've ever seen. But
Oh yeah, I mean this was 1995. No 3D animated movie before this.
nice. I actually didn't know that.
Yes, this
Uh,
is the first full 3D animated movie ever made.
wow. You can kind of tell. I was so like when I was watching it, I think this is the first time I've watched it where I've like hyper focused on it for a view standpoint. And like
Mm-hmm.
when I was watching the animation, I could like there was a scene where it showed like a window and it showed like a house across the street and the grass was just like a green plain and like the like tree was just like a brown like plain with like green little planes coming off of it. And like there was a scene where there was some like ABC blocks and
Mm-hmm.
the way they were stacked, you could like literally see a space in between the blocks stacked on top of each other. Like they weren't actually touching each other.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I couldn't help notice it, but it didn't really affect anything. Of course, I was still in love with it.
A couple other things to do with the animation that also just stick out so bad. The fur, the fur on the dog.
Oh yeah, dude,
It's
Scud is iconic. It's like somebody
man.
had never seen a dog and they're like, I'm gonna design a dog.
Yeah, that is the smoothest dog
Smooth
ever.
dog. He's a smooth boy. We love him.
And then probably the most iconic thing with the animation is the eyelids.
Yes.
Not like almost every single time not closing at the same time. Like their blinking is like wink wink
Yeah.
wink wink instead of the normal
I
blinking.
was gonna say, one thing I noticed was like when it came to appendages and eyelids, a lot of the time the appendage, like Mr. Potato Head, his appendage would bend and it would go into his body, like to bend. And then the eyelids, like you could tell that they were like basically just rotating around the back of the eye and like kind of
Mm-hmm.
just going through the skin. I thought it was adorable. You never notice they're
Yep.
blinking? Yeah. Yeah, they're blinking. I feel like they almost tried to hide it in the amount of times Woody got his ass beat in the movie to him just being like, "Oh my god, like I'm drunk or like I just got hit in the head." But yeah, the
And
blinking is
I,
funny.
I didn't notice it until someone pointed it out, and then in the back of your mind, you're like, do they really blink like that? And then you just can't stop looking at their eyes when they're blinking.
Yep. Every time they squinted, I would always notice it too.
Um, so, some fun facts about the movie that I
Let's hear 'em.
have looked up and pulled. $30 million budget for a 1995 animated movie.
Damn.
Um, 29.1 million opening.
Okay.
So
Almost instantly back.
pretty solid.
Yeah.
192 million domestic.
Sheesh.
365 worldwide.
Damn. That
Crazy.
that had to put some pep in their step to make a second one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Um do you know who they wanted as Buzz Lightyear originally?
I do not.
Billy Crystal.
All right. That would have been interesting.
He has said it is his quote only major career regret,
Dang.
which is why he instantly accepted Mike Wazowski when he was offered it.
I mean, yeah, I would have immediately regretted it too if I would have had the chance to work on that movie.
It is the first animated film to be nominated for Best Screenplay.
Nice.
Which shocked me because of movies like Beauty and the Beast, which I think I would have to look at the year, but is technically, like, in terms of writing, I would say one of the better animated movies up to this point.
Yeah, I would
So
agree
that
with that.
surprises me. It is the shortest Pixar movie.
I actually have a question about that. Do you think that that screenplay category was a thing when Beauty and the Beast came out?
Screenplay, probably. I think screenplay has been a category for a while.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I noticed that with the early animation of this one, there was a category that didn't even exist. I think it was, what was
the
it?
Animation category, right?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like I think it was, might have been 3D animation or something.
This is the shortest Pixar movie, hour and 22 minutes.
I actually noticed when I pulled it up. I was like, "This isn't only an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What the heck?"
Crazy.
Super short.
And like honestly, Pixar movies tend to stay on the shorter side. I think the longest is just over 2 hours,
Yeah.
like 2 hours and 2 minutes or something like that. So
they make it work.
They do. And I think this is my favorite little tidbit. The animation team perfected the movement of the toy soldiers by nailing a pair of sneakers to a sheet of wood and trying to walk around.
That's amazing.
That is. I love that. Like
That's so creative.
Imagine not knowing what's happening and you're like ahead of a studio and you walk in on just these people walking on a board like that.
I mean, to be fair, they looked really good on screen. You can't.
They did.
You can't knock it.
They really did.
You can't knock it. It worked.
So
I have one interesting tidbit.
Yeah, hit me with
that
it.
I feel like might be worth sharing when we watch Toy Story 2, but it also involves this movie.
Okay.
There was a deleted scene from this movie that involved Woody having a nightmare about being thrown in the garbage, and that became a major plot point in Toy Story 2. The garbage scene where like all the broken toy parts are all around him. We'll get there in that one, but they were originally going to have him have a nightmare of that when Buzz got introduced to the story. But they scrapped it, and then that became an actual like major plot thing in Toy Story 2. Thought that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. I did not know that.
There's a few deleted scenes from this movie, and one of them involves torture.
Oh, you know, the patented Pixar torture
casual
scenes,
Pixar torture scene. Yeah,
of course.
So the scene where unless you want to wait until we get to this in the plot summary, but we can do it now or then. It's up to you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the scene where in the movie where Sid is burning Woody with a magnifying glass, right before that scene, because Woody at the beginning of that scene, Woody kind of gets like thrown into the hallway, and then he burns him with a magnifying glass and says, "Where's the rebel base?" Right before that scene, Sid had Woody tied to had Buzz tied to a power drill, and he was just holding the trigger, and Buzz was just spinning on the power drill, and then he like flies off the power
Jesus.
drill and like smacks against the wall and knocks a bunch of stuff off the table. Um, and then he goes over to Woody, and he like, oh look, another survivor, and he picks him up off the ground. And he goes, "Where's the rebel base?" And he throws him through the door, and that's when he lands in the hallway to be burned by the magnifying glass. But they removed it because they quoted saying like, we kind of already felt like people were in love with the pair, and they didn't want to see them being tortured on screen any more than they had to.
I can see that. Like, as a
Yeah,
kid, I wouldn't want to see too much,
yeah,
It's bad enough to see Woody almost being burned alive.
yeah, pretty much on multiple occasions.
All right, should we get into the plot now?
Let's do it, baby. Do you
All
want me
right.
to show scenes from it while you're talking about it, or do you want me to just talk about it?
That's up to you.
I have the
I guess
movie
this is
open
a
on Disney, so
good time to throw in that this is all experimental. You know,
yes, definitely.
we are just kind of going through, seeing how things kind of flow together. How the people who are listening like it. So we do appreciate your feedback. Please let us know what worked, what didn't work, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of, stuff like that.
Definitely.
We definitely will appreciate every single piece of feedback, and we will look at everything, and we will try to work with that feedback to make the best show that we can.
Also, for those of you that are here, we're currently streaming on the Twitch channel that you guys already know about, obviously. But if you're not already following our actual franchise guys Twitch, that's the link there if you want to go give them a follow. In the near future, we're going to be focusing on that channel to do this type of content. So, yeah, thank you for that. And I will do the scenes.
Looks like people want the scenes, so let's give them the scenes.
All right, let's do it. I'll try my best to keep along where you are without. I have the audio off, so you won't get played over or anything like that.
Cool. So we start out. The old western town is a state of crisis, as Mr. Potato Head is holding the town hostage. When Sheriff Woody comes in, and you know what he does to save the town? He uses his pet dinosaur, like every cowboy back then would.
In this,
Mr. Potato Head gets thrown in the worst jail possible with a teething baby who decides to instantly just put him in her mouth and just
naturally beat the absolute
slobber all over him. Absolutely disgusting. Have a freaky looking baby too. I'll tell you that. Not a pretty baby.
Top tier animation eyelids.
Yes, and then we of course get the iconic Randy Newman's "You Got a Friend in Me."
You got a friend in me, man.
Is there any other Pixar song that is more iconic?
All I have to say about the songs in all of these movies, especially the first one, is that they said, "Hey, make us some songs for a movie," and that man went harder than he's done anything in his whole life, and it was a masterpiece because of it.
He sure did. I wonder if when they said, "Please make us some music," and then he came back with his voice, and like, do you really have to be singing this?
He's like,
you
"Fuck yeah, I
couldn't
do."
get anybody else.
Hey man, he's a treasure.
He is a treasure. He's great. You know, I mean, that song wouldn't be the same without him. I don't think.
I agree completely.
Then we get the little montage of Andy and Woody playing, and then something that I didn't notice the first time, like until now, Joss Whedon.
There's the
name
trees.
comes up. He is a screenwriter.
Interesting. I did not notice that, to be honest with you.
Didn't either. When I saw the name Joss Whedon, I was shocked. Like, I had absolutely no idea that. I wonder if he did any other Pixar. I forgot to look it up, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. So then we get to Woody calling a meeting. For some reason, Mr. Potato Head wants to become a Picasso painting, and like probably every single child watching him does not get the reference. which I thought is funny because like all the kids are probably like, I don't get it either. Like, right on him. Um, Rex tries to scare Woody,
Ah, yes.
but when you have Wallace Shawn screaming in your face, you're not. No one's gonna be
Rawr. Is
scared of that, you know.
that after the
And
meeting or before
then
the meeting? That's right.
that's before the meeting, I believe.
there, there's an example for you. The
Yes.
freaking blinking eyes.
Yes, there it is. And then after that, Bo Peep pulls him aside, and boy, howdy, is there some sexual tension there.
What do you say I get someone else to watch the sheep tonight?
Yeah, so they can fuck. They are gonna rub plastic
They sure
real
are.
hard tonight.
I think she's porcelain, but maybe not.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, same thing, right?
Woody holds the meeting. Turns out they are moving in a week. You know, it must be scary as a toy, you know? Like being put in boxes. No one likes that. No one likes being put in a box.
Definitely not.
I wish we could have seen the plastic corrosion meeting that they had a couple weeks ago.
I agree. That was not a deleted scene, unfortunately.
That would have been hilarious.
Very true.
I do have to call out though, Mr. Spell.
Mr. Spell is top tier, dude. He's on it.
He is just he hangs out in the background.
Vibes.
If you're not looking, you miss it. Every single thing that Mr. Spell says is hilarious. Every single time.
I specifically actually looked out for it this time, and I saw quite a few really, really good scenes with Mr. Spell, and I wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does it at the beginning or the end, but there's a time where Mr. Potato Head's talking about a Mrs. Potato Head, and he's like hubba hubba in the background.
Yes.
So good.
That was so funny.
It's so fast too, you'll miss it instantly.
It is. Like, it's such a quick, small thing. Man, and this is where the start of Mr. Potato Head just being a total dick. Like,
I know.
Mr. Potato Head is an asshole in this movie.
In this movie, 100%, he's the worst character.
He calls Slinky a kiss ass.
Right there you go.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like, he's a dick.
Yeah.
You know? And then we find out Andy's birthday is today.
Yes.
And everybody starts
freaks out.
And then we get this amazing scene of them watching the all these kids come with all these presents.
Oh man.
And
next month's garage sale fodder for sure.
When they see the long present and it like turns and you actually see that it's like super long.
Yeah.
And Rex just screams at the top of his lungs. Will never not make me laugh.
There's a nice small one over there. They start fiddling with the blinds.
Yep. They send the army men to start to spy on the party to see what Andy got.
Whoop.
The army men are great. Every scene with them, they steal the scenes for sure.
Probably one of my favorite characters in all the movies that they're in.
They're great.
So good.
They're amazing. Boy, does he get a lot of presents for his birthday.
He sure does. Like, and especially at the end.
I never had that many birthday parties as a kid. Like, all of them were relatively small.
Yeah.
I never got near even half as many presents as this spoiled little brat got.
My parents were mostly into Christmas, so if I got presents, it was Christmas time. Birthday was like 3 or 4 at the most.
Same, dude. Exactly.
But it does make sense that like every kid that came to the party brought one, and there was like 6 kids there.
So. I guess, but like it just seemed like he had a literal mountain of presents, and
yeah,
you know, I'm not here for that.
That's valid.
This is where Mr. Potato Head, as you said earlier, is begging for Mrs. Potato Head.
Yep. Mrs. Potato Head.
You know, he's lonely.
He's just a lonely, creepy old man.
Somebody. Yeah, that's why he's such an asshole. He has so much pent up, just sexual need that he needs to just.
Yeah.
He needs to take it out on Woody or else, you know, and that is not a euphemism.
I like this scene a lot where she steps on him and they like save him.
Yeah.
Great scene.
And then All the presents are gone, except for the mom is hiding a present
The closet,
in the
right?
closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the kids get in the way because they're hyper little freaks, all hopped up on cake and shit. And then they all run up to the room. Woody gets thrown to the floor.
I
And a
know. What is he doing under
spaceship
there?
gets just planted on the bed. Who is it? It's Buzz
We're
Lightyear.
about to find out.
The coolest toy ever. Just look at him. Like, he's
Beautiful.
awesome. He's amazing. There is one issue, though. He thinks he's a real Space Ranger. He doesn't think he's plastic.
He
He doesn't
sure
think
does.
he's a toy. He thinks he's a real Space Ranger. Which leads me to question, did Woody think he was a real cowboy? Did Potato Head really think that he was just a potato?
I 100% thought the same thing. If that was ever canon in their past, that they all thought they weren't toys at one point.
Yeah, I would love to see when Rex comes out of the box and
Just a
he
pig.
thinks that he is a real dinosaur,
Or sorry, yeah,
and then he
dinosaur, right?
realizes that he can talk.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
Like
what?
But yeah, it just it's just food for thought.
Yeah, it's a very good question to pose for sure.
And at the first sight of Woody, Buzz immediately tries to murder him. Just straight up, doesn't even ask any questions. Just points the laser at his head and just shoots.
I later in the movie I thought about that because every time somebody presses his laser, he's like, "Be careful with that. It's very deadly." And he just immediately tries to murder Woody like right away.
And it's not even just Woody. When Rex and them come up, immediately just tries to murder them.
Yep. He's like, "Oh wait, you're the local sheriff? Okay."
He is the ultimate act first, think later kind of guy.
He sure is.
We get some more Mr. Potato Head just shitting on Woody. Again, he's just a dick. This is where I actually noticed something else that I forgot to bring up when we were talking about the animation. Rex's neck when he is talking.
Yes, dude.
It's like going into the plastic. It's like clipping into it. It's pretty nuts. Buzz falls with style. Obviously does not fly. Like
no,
any right-thinking toy would think that he did not fly. But Bo Peep immediately falls in love with him and says, "I found my moving buddy." Like, just drops
Woody so fast.
Drops Woody like he's just garbage. And like, can you blame her?
I mean, in this, there's another eyelid for you. In this scenario, the dropping would make sense, but unless she's just 100% loyal. But Woody is kind of a loser in this scenario.
I mean, Woody is just a loser in general. And it proves it even more with the next scene where Andy realizes that space is way cooler than the Old West and changes his style everywhere. Just gets rid of all of the Old West things, except for his toy chest for some reason.
Yeah. No, gotta keep that.
And just get, like, screw you, Woody. Get out of here. Then one of my favorite scenes, the shark pops out and says, "Look, I am Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy." Love that scene.
Amazing scene.
One of my favorite scenes in Pixar.
Give me that. Such a
and
good
then this is where we start to see Woody kind of be an asshole. And then you're kind of like, okay, now I see why Mr. Potato Head is being a dick.
Yeah, like the
Might
attic.
be a little bit warranted.
A little bit.
He just starts to just go off on Buzz and just threaten him almost. And then we see the creepiest kid ever put on screen, Sid. He's outside, and I'll tell you, he is throwing rocks at a toy.
Doesn't he throw like a cinder block
from
too?
Him, and he misses every single one. Doesn't even come close.
He sure does.
And then he does throw a cinder block
and misses.
Keep in mind, he steps significantly closer and still misses wide.
Still misses wide. We also see Scud,
Yeah, and this is our first sight of the smoothest dog ever put on film.
the best boy,
Um,
absolute best boy.
Sid in 5 years will be murdering people.
He's the
100%
Punisher,
he will
didn't
be
you know?
murdering people.
The skull on his t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just less cool.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
he's
we skip
got
ahead
he's got
just a
All
little
Stars
bit.
on.
What was that?
He's got Converse All Stars, so he has a little bit of style at least. You know, don't
Yeah,
don't
but
knock
then
him.
he blows up the combat Carl and just,
True.
good for him, I guess. He needs friends.
He sure does.
We skip ahead a little bit. Woody decides to use RC to run over Buzz.
Yeah, in a very rude manner.
Again, attempted murder, but this time like using somebody or something else to like murder the person
Yeah,
with. Like, RC didn't ask for this. It's fucked up.
he sure didn't, and he immediately snitches on Woody too. Like immediately.
Yeah, like I would too. Like,
Warranted.
sorry, I'm not an accomplice here. Buzz gets hit out the window, and my favorite part is Woody acts like he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't do that. It wasn't my fault. He got hit out the window.
Like, oh, it was an accident. Like, oh, okay, you just wanted to murder the dude. You didn't want to throw him out the window. Congrats.
Yeah, right. Just knock him down behind the freaking shelf, you murderer.
Andy comes in. They're going to Pizza Planet. Obviously he wants to bring Buzz because Buzz is so much cooler than Woody.
Naturally.
And instead of just not taking a toy, because why would you take a toy somewhere? He decides, you know what, I'll just take Woody. Whatever.
I guess.
And then Buzz shows up at the gas station while they are getting gas. And they are left there. Buzz has a huge, giant-ass mosquito on his helmet. It's
sure
always
does.
Grossed me out as a kid. Like,
same. I hated this scene so much as a kid.
It was the worst. They fight. They're punching each other all over the place. Then they see the Pizza Planet car. They hop into it. Buzz smartly goes into the front seat.
Yes,
while
he
Woody goes into the back and just gets wrecked the whole way there.
It's safer in the cockpit than a cargo bay. What an idiot. He just gets destroyed.
Then they reach Pizza Planet. Man, I loved Pizza Planet as a kid. I can't believe it took Disneyland so long to make Pizza Planet, and I wish they would make it a little bit more faithful, but
yes,
at least they're trying.
Pizza Planet, I dreamt about going there as a kid, dude. It looks like so much fun. I would kill for that.
I love the robots in the beginning who are like, "Welcome to Pizza Planet."
Yes, dude, same. That's so cool.
But this is where we meet the best Pixar characters, bar none, 100%.
Yep.
The aliens.
Yep. Oh.
They enter the claw machine full of these little alien guys, and they immediately start talking about their Lord and Savior, the Claw.
The Claw.
They are just absolutely brainwashed, and they're the best.
I mean, when that's all you know in life, you gotta live by it. You know, all they know is the Claw.
And how could you not love the Claw?
I know. Look at him; he's just so shiny and sharp.
Sid is in Pizza Planet. He decides to come over and play the claw machine. And I'll tell you what, this motherfucker,
dude. I wrote this down.
The luckiest kid in the world.
I wrote it down in my notes. Only unrealistic part of the entire movie was when Sid won the claw machine twice in a row.
Not only twice in a row, but his second time getting 2 toys.
A double toy. Yeah, that's insane.
Like not even a warm up. Like, okay, like this is gonna screw me up. But he got one, and then he got Buzz, who has a circular helmet. Yeah,
he climbed onto a circular, shiny, like slippery helmet, and then of course got 2 toys out of it. Insane.
At that point, fate wanted Buzz Lightyear to die.
Yep, that's it. That should have been the end of the movie, honestly.
Exactly. Like, sorry, but if you get that unlucky and Sid is that lucky, you had what's coming to you. Really? Sid continues his insane streak of things that he can do for some reason by skateboarding home on the grass.
Yep, like a boss, dude. Like
just skates right onto the grass. So he must be the best skateboarder of all time. That's how you get the chicks. Do the claw machine and skateboard on the grass.
I mean, he's
Um,
really a nice guy. Like he obviously cares about his dog. Like in this scene, the dog listens to him, and it actually sits there and waits for him to say, go or whatever he says right here. Ready, set, now. Look at that. He listens. Scud
yeah.
listens. He
We get a
cares about
little
that dog.
closer of a shot of Scud here, where we can really see how smooth he is.
Yeah, smoothest
Um,
boy.
just the smoothest dog in the world. It shocks me every time I see it. And just to think, like, when did Monsters Inc. come out?
I think 99. No,
Monsters Inc. came out 2001. So
one.
6 years after this, they had Sully, who looks amazing.
Actual fur, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Welcome, Icy. Welcome.
they go into Sid's room. Again, just this kid's gonna murder people in
Yep.
like 5 years or
He's
so.
the Punisher.
This is where we see those freaky hybrid toys. Those always freaked me out as a kid. They scared the shit out of me. I this is the part I hated as a kid because like the lava lamp,
Yeah.
just all the toys, just it was so creepy.
I also thought it was creepy, but I really liked this part actually. I always liked this part.
See, I was such a pussy as a kid. I didn't want any part of this.
That's totally fair. I never noticed though that the eye was like missing to the point where you could see the back of its skull. That part
Yeah.
creeped me out. Like when I watched it this time.
The next day, Sid tries to set Woody on fire. Has no concern for safety of
Nope.
his family or anybody there, you know. I
Why-
guess you can't expect that from a kid blowing shit up in the backyard.
Yeah, why would he, dude?
They try to escape, but again, the smooth dog is blocking their way.
Naturally.
Of course, you know. Buzz runs into a room with we assume that it's his dad just drunk watching TV. And he sees a Buzz Lightyear commercial and he finally realizes that he's a toy. And this just destroys Buzz.
I actually never noticed that it was his dad. I don't know why they didn't pick up on that.
I
That
assume
makes
it's
sense,
his
though.
dad. We can't see. It could be his mom, but
I think it's the dad though. The way the socks
I
and
think
the
so,
pants.
too.
Yeah. Interesting.
The Buzz Lightyear commercial, interestingly enough, is an Alice Toy Barn commercial, which
Yes,
is
it
where they
is.
end up in the next movie.
I did pick up on that this. I never noticed it before, but when I watched it this time, I was like, "That's Alice Toy Barn. Nice."
Yep. I didn't notice that either until I watched it this time.
Yeah.
So after seeing that Buzz is a toy and actually can't fly, you know,
Yeah.
what does he do? He tries to fly out the window. like a
Immediately
fucking
tries to
idiot.
fly. Immediately tries to defy what they're
And
saying
then
about him.
he falls and his arm pops off. But
Yep.
at least we have some more Randy Newman in
The
the
best.
background to make it all better.
This Randy Newman song is the most I wrote this song for this scene song in the entire planet.
Oh yeah. And dude, he goes hard on one of those notes, dude.
Yeah, he does.
I was
sure
like, oh
does.
wow, I didn't know he had that kind of range.
He sure does.
Buzz, next time we see him, is the best version of Buzz out there.
Best
Mrs.
Buzz there
Nesbitt.
is, dude.
I love Mrs. Nesbitt.
Same.
It's the best.
His facial expression is so much more
is.
better in this scene than any other scene.
It's the best. Woody is able to slap Buzz across the face with his detached arm, and he kind of comes back to it, but is still all depressed. Which I mean, I get it. He
literally
realizes his whole
said
life is a lie. So
he said the word. He just said, "I'm depressed." He's like, "Sorry, I'm depressed."
Yeah.
I never thought that was a line in this movie.
at least he knows it, you know.
Yeah.
They're in Sid's room now. They get in contact with Andy's toys.
Yep.
Ham and Potato Head are playing Battleship. They're betting body parts.
Yep. Sure
That
are.
leads me to question how, like, okay, what if
What's the
what
currency
if Ham
here?
loses?
Yeah, right.
What does Ham have to give up other than his cork that he can give Potato Head?
Maybe the money inside. I have no idea.
Maybe I was weird, you know.
Did you all take stupid pills this morning? You were such a dick.
He's just an asshole. Woody uses Buzz's detached arm to prove that they are friends. And then it all just goes to
Goes
shit.
so downhill from there.
And at that point, you know, if you were Andy's toys and you saw that, you know, you can't blame him.
No, you really can't. This
It,
is one of my favorite lines in the movie. The slay gay. Such a good line.
it is. Um, the freak toys end up fixing Buzz. They don't actually eat them like they thought they did, which
Yep.
makes me think, do toys eat? Because apparently
Do
he
toys
thought
eat
that
other
they were
toys?
eating each
Yeah.
other, like eating each other. So
Yeah,
who
do they
knows?
eat period and do they eat other toys? That's the question
Yeah.
that posed by that scene.
Sid gets a rocket. I think it's called the Big One.
It sure is called the big one.
Straps it to Buzz.
Big one.
Buzz seems like he'll finally learn how to fly with that thing on his back.
He sure will. Not today though.
The freak toys end up deciding to help Woody save Buzz from this
Yes.
this awful fate that he has.
I have a tidbit about that as well. Let me get to that
I do
scene.
too, because boy did they speed up his murder process and what they did to him. They just ruined this kid's life, and now he's just gonna be in an insane asylum because he murdered like 20 people because of talking toys. Probably gonna
So
murder kids who he sees having toys.
so I saw this part and I always had the closed captions on in case I miss a line. And it says tapping Morse code. I never noticed that he taps Morse code in this
Oh.
scene. You want to know what he says?
Yes,
He says RR come out. And RR means Roger received. Because here Woody is saying, can you please help my friend? So he's basically saying yes, and then he tells the other toys to come out and help. I was so blown away by that scene that they added that in there. Because he can't talk, obviously.
See, this is the stuff that Pixar is just so good at.
So
Like,
good.
no one else is gonna think of that.
Nope.
Like, that is such a weird thing to add that just works. And like when you
Right?
find it out, you're like, this is the coolest thing ever.
For real. I was so shook by that part.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in the backyard now. They start to pretty much almost attack Sid in the backyard. So
The
Sid's
scene
fucked up, you know.
The scene here where Woody is talking to Sid is such an iconic scene.
Oh yeah. 100%.
He just calls him out by his name.
I never thought of it as a scary scene until I watched it this time. And I was like, this is actually horrifying.
Literally in my notes I wrote down, I was like, how many years of therapy do you think Sid has to go to now because of this scene?
I don't think there is enough years of therapy that he needs to go to.
Fair enough.
I think this kid is just destroyed for his life.
He is gone right here in this moment. He is just destroyed.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then his little sister tortures him and chases him up the stairs with her doll, and that's hilarious.
Yep.
Woody and Buzz, they're going back. They're trying to get back to Andy. The moving van is gone. Their car is gone, so they're trying to catch up to it. Woody gets in the car and immediately doesn't say anything to anybody, just immediately just throws RC out of the fucking van.
I know, he just, without an explanation, he's just like, I'm just gonna yeet this freaking guy out.
Just be like, you
after they think he's a murderer.
Me, you're dead.
Yeah. Literally, that's what they probably all thought was happening.
Exactly. And then RC, the fastest
car in the West.
car in the world, catches up
to a moving truck.
Pretty much catches up to the moving truck, and then it runs out of battery. Woody decides, hey, let's just light this giant ass rocket on your back.
Easy.
But you know, it works. They're going fast as hell. They drop RC back into the moving van, and Buzz finally flies. He actually flies.
He sure
Like a
does.
fucking badass. They
He did
fly
it.
right. They detach themselves from the rocket. They fly right into Andy's car. And for some reason, Andy just accepts that they're there now.
Yep.
He's like, oh,
He gets
the,
scared by them dropping, and he's like, "Oh, I guess
yeah,
they're here now."
yeah, these two giant ass toys are just next to me now. I'm not going to question it.
Not even a question.
Yeah, just right on top of the box.
And when his mom
Whatever.
asks him, like, "Oh, great, you found them. Where were they?" Here in the car. And she
Yeah.
says,
No, they weren't.
"See?
They were in the box.
They weren't in the car. They were in the box. You liar. What did I tell you right where you left them?"
Exactly.
There's a thing I wanted to go back on really quick. When they were on top of the RC car and they were rounding the corner, where's that scene? Right here. Hakuna Matata is playing in the car. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Yeah. I caught that and I was like, holy shit, Hakuna Matata's playing. What the heck?
Yes, I did catch that. That's something I always forget, but then when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that type thing.
Yeah. I didn't ever know it, to be
Um,
honest with you.
we flash forward now. It is Christmas time. More
Indeed.
toys coming. The army men are in the tree. They are spying on the Christmas day.
The best men
Molly
in the
gets
business.
the Mrs. Potato Head, and Mr. Potato Head.
I think that's the Hubba Hubba scene, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is where the Hubba Hubba comes up from Mr. Spell.
There was another one with
Then,
Mr. Spell really quick where it was when Buzz was working out on the little guy's spinning wheels. He was like running, and Mr. Spell had like his calories. Yeah.
Yep. I noticed that too. I was like,
Yeah.
that's so.
It was
That's
so
funny.
fast, but I actually managed to catch it.
And then it ends with Andy getting a new dog.
Yep.
But
The
all
classic
of the toys are back together.
the classic zoom out and then fast zoom back in.
Yep. Nothing is gonna disrupt this this happy family, right, guys?
This is the screenshot we should have used for the background right here.
That's a good one.
No, nothing can disrupt it now. Now there's a puppy involved.
All right, that was Toy Story 1, and now
That's it.
the easy part for this episode at least is the ranking portion, as there is
Yes.
only one movie so far that we have done. It obviously ranks number 1.
Number 1.
I mean, again, it's a classic, you
It
know.
is. It's so hard to compare it because it is just such a classic.
It's so good. It still holds up so well. The animation is rough,
Yeah,
you know, but
naturally.
it's from 1995.
Literally,
it's the first 3D animated movie. You got to give some leeway there. It's a great movie.
it's 26 years old. Like, there's no way you can talk crap on the animation and
That's
not
crazy.
and
It's
still be
fucking
respected.
26 years
This
old.
movie's older than me.
Exactly.
Like, you're older than me. I don't know if you're older than this movie, but this movie's older than me. So
I'm a year older than this movie, so
Gotcha.
like, I didn't watch this until a few years after.
yeah, same, obviously.
But yeah, so Toy Story 1, first one. The next movie that we have up on the list is A Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life. Yes, I'm so excited. I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Oh, really? I am
Yes.
excited for you to watch it. I have some strong feelings on A Bug's Life, so I am very
Nice.
excited to talk about that.
I know that there's a lot of really good themes in A Bug's Life, so I'm very excited to talk about those themes. Let me show this really quick. So, as Andrew just said, this is the one and only one we've watched so far, so of course it ranks number 1. And next week is going to be A Bug's Life, so we will see how that stacks up in the ranking when we talk about it next week.
And I'll tell you guys right now, for anybody listening, we have compared some rankings of things in the past.
We have Marvel,
These debates
X-Men.
are gonna get wild. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh yes, because we have some very intense differences of opinion when it comes to other franchises.
Yes, and with two people, we're just gonna have to come to a consensus. We're gonna have to there's gonna have to be some give and take.
Oh yeah.
But I think the first couple will probably be relatively easy.
Yeah, I think so
Um,
too.
but once we start getting into some of the later ones, it's gonna be really, really tough.
Yep, moving them up and down the list, that's hard for sure.
Yeah, because like, I mean, it's Pixar. Pixar movies are just inherently good.
Yeah,
So
I was
any
telling you
place
before,
on the list.
as I was gonna say, I was telling you before that like I feel bad even ranking one of them number 23. Like,
Yeah,
they're all just so good. It's hard.
but that's why we're doing it,
Yep.
and you guys don't have to.
That is the exact reason we're doing it, so y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to worry about what's the best one, what's the worst one, because we got you. And we
Exactly.
both have our own respective lists on Letterbox, but if you hop into our link tree, which I will link again now, you can see at the very top is our Letterboxd link. That will take you to our Franchise Guys Letterboxd account, which will show you our official list that we're compiling together as a group. Obviously, like we just mentioned, Toy Story is the only one on there, so the other ones we have not watched yet. So Toy Story, of course, is number one, and they're just right now in order of when they were released, which is how we're watching all of our franchises. So
Yes,
yeah,
release order. It's the only way to watch them.
the original order
Yes.
of any franchise, which gets
All right.
super messy. But yes,
Thank you everybody for being here. We really
yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. The debut episode, the debut stream of the Franchise Guys. You will definitely
We
be
will be
seeing
back
this.
with plenty more.
Yes. Well, we haven't really discussed it yet, but I was thinking about uh, probably at most doing 2 streams a week, maybe 3 if you want to get crazy with it. But if we do 2 a week, we'll have this franchise knocked out pretty quick. So
Yeah, and if we do that, then we'll probably be back Wednesday.
most likely, yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, but probably Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you're off Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm also off Thursday as well, so we can
Okay.
figure that out.
Cool. Yeah.
But yes,
We'll do
again,
that.
thank you so much, guys, for being here. This is going to be the end of this stream. I might raid someone, I might not. I haven't decided yet. We'll take a look and see if there's anybody we want to raid right now. But yeah, I can't say thank you enough for being here, because this is something that Andrew and I have been talking about doing for quite a long time, and just haven't gone around to
I
it.
kind of had to trick you into doing it too.
Kind of, yeah.
I had to
Little
get you
bit.
into Letterboxd rankings, and then you're like, "Damn, I actually want to do this." So
Yeah, dude.
now you see why I love lists so much.
I fell in love with making lists, yeah, just from doing. I made the X-Men list and the Marvel list, and then I was just like, damn, I kind of want to do this. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So